Have you ever started healing, started saying no, or started setting healthier boundaries, only to hear someone say, "You've changed"? Maybe they meant it as an observation, maybe they meant it as a criticism. Either way, it's probably made you stop and wonder, am I becoming selfish? Have I gone too far? Was I actually kinder before? These are all things I've asked myself, and I believe those are honest questions. So today, I don't want to tell you that everyone who says you've changed is toxic. I also don't want to tell you that every new boundary is automatically healthy. I think the truth is more nuanced than that. So let's talk about what may actually be happening. One thing I've been learning through my I'm in school for psychology. So one thing I've been learning is that relationships naturally develop patterns over time without realizing it. And we all settle into roles. So maybe you're the one who always says yes, the one who keeps the peace, the one who apologizes first, the one who fixes everything, the one who never asks for help. After years of repeating those patterns, they begin to feel normal. Not necessarily because they're healthy, but because they're familiar. Then something changes. You start healing. You communicate differently. You stop over explaining. You begin saying things like, "That doesn't work for me." The relationship now has to adjust. That adjustment can feel uncomfortable for everyone involved. And that's important because discomfort is not automatically dysfunction. Research in relationship psychology suggests that people often adapt to the established interaction patterns. So when one person changes how they communicate or responds differently than before, the relationship system has to adjust. Some relationships do that well, others resist. Resistance does not automatically mean someone is manipulative or unhealthy. Sometimes change simply takes time. The better question is there curiosity? Can both people talk honestly? Can both people listen? Can both people adjust? Or is one person expected to carry all the change? That's where discernment becomes important. I've learned that boundaries and emotional distance are not the same thing. A boundary says, "I want a healthy relationship." Distance says, "I don't want a relationship." A boundary protects connection. A wall prevents connection. Sometimes we need distance for a season. Sometimes that's wise. But if every relationship ends with emotional distance, it's worth asking why. Healing isn't about becoming unreachable. It's about becoming healthier in how we relate. Ephesians 4:15 tells believers to speak the truth in love. I love that Paul keeps those two ideas together. Truth without love can become harshness. Love without truth can become avoidance. Christian maturity requires both. That means there will be moments when telling the truth feels uncomfortable, not because it's wrong, but because the relationship is adjusting to a new way of communicating. Another verse that has helped me in Proverbs is Proverbs 27, verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. The proverb isn't celebrating hurtful speech. It's teaching that loving relationships make room for honest correction when it's offered faithfully. Healthy love doesn't avoid truth, and healthy truth doesn't abandon love. When someone tells me you've changed, instead of becoming defensive, I've started asking myself a few questions. Did I become healthier? Or simply harder to reach? Am I communicating more honestly? Or am I shutting people out? Does this relationship miss me? Or does it miss the role I used to play? That's been some of the hardest questions for me. Because sometimes people aren't grieving your absence. They're grieving the loss of your availability to unhealthy patterns. And sometimes they're grieving the loss of someone they genuinely love. Discernment means learning the difference. So this week, think of one person who has said you've changed. Then journal these questions. What specifically changed? Is that change bringing me closer to the person I believe God is shaping me to become? Has this relationship shown a willingness to grow with me? Am I responding with both truth and love? Don't answer quickly. Sit with them. Pray over them. Talk them through with a trusted friend, mentor, or counselor if needed. Healing changes relationships. That's not always because someone is unhealthy. Sometimes it's simply because every relationship has to learn how to function when one person grows. The goal isn't to keep everyone comfortable. The goal is to become more truthful, more loving, more discerning, more like Christ. And if that process changes some relationships, don't rush to label it a failure. It may simply be evidence that growth is happening. I'd love to hear from you. Has anyone told you you've changed? How did it make you feel? Share your experience in the comments. And if you're learning how to build healthier relationships without losing yourself, I created a free guide called 7 Boundaries Every Woman Rebuilding Her Life Needs. It's completely free, and you can download it through the link in the description. If this conversation encouraged you, subscribe and join me each week as we explore psychology, biblical truth, and the real life work of healing together.